Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
Subscribe! That's what you're supposed to say before anyone's seen your content, aren't you? Anyway, Carmelo Hayes wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
The Motor City Machine Guns against the Street Profits ends in a no contest.
Zelina Vega defeats Chelsea Green.
LA Knight wins via DQ against Solo Sikoa.
LA Knight and Braun Strowman defeat Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in an impromptu match.
Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix defeat American Made.
Now, as usual, if you want to know what actually happens... Orton challenges anyone, even the crowd.
Priest vows violence.
And Cena has a face like melted wax. We watch Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa exit a car and head towards, presumably, the arena, when Tama realises he's forgotten his phone, so heads back to said car. As he retrieves it and goes to catch up with Solo, he's attacked from behind by LA Knight. Knight manages to slam a car door on Tama's arm before running off, as Solo comes running over to help his partner in crime.
We begin with Seth Rollins, who adopts a CM Punk style position in the ring, the cross-legged sit-down. Seth questions whether Punk came back because of the fans chanting his name, or because someone wrote him a big fat check, calling him a liar, a fraud and a coward. Seth then claims that Roman Reigns is in the Roman Reigns business, with he and Punk not knowing anything about sacrifice. The story started 12 years ago when Paul Heyman brought he and Roman Reigns into WWE. But at WrestleMania it will end in the most important match in the industry, and he vows to lay it all on the line to make sure the business moves forward in the right direction.
Come on, Seth. We then get a rundown of the WrestleMania card, so there's the first look. Now, we did mention this previously in another video that they probably tell us at least 10 times during SmackDown what's happening at WrestleMania.
So first match of the night, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. In order of elimination, because you think I'm calling this match. So, out goes Carlito, R-Truth, Berto, Angel, both by Rey Fenix, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson simultaneously by A-Town Down Under, Tyler Bates, Santos Escobar, after thinking he'd formed an alliance with Rey Fenix, who then threw him out, Tozawa, both Creeds and Otis as he clotheslined both, his momentum taking them all out, Grayson Waller and then Austin Theory, both by Andrade, Chad Gable after being ganged up on by all the luchadors, with Rey Fenix doing the eliminating, remember that, Joaquin Wilde, Del Toro, Karrion Kross, Dragon Lee, Ludwig Kaiser, The Miz, after saving his new tag team partner Carmelo Hayes by throwing him back into the ring from the apron. Hayes then throws out Pete Dunne, which leaves us with the final four: Rey Fenix, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes and Shinsuke Nakamura.
The four have a tear-up. Andrade eliminates Shinsuke, leaving 3, with Phoenix then about to hit Goodbye Amigo on Hayes. Only El Grande Americano appears as Phoenix runs along the top rope and pulls it, causing Phoenix to fall to the outside and thus become eliminated. So, Phoenix eliminates Gable, and then El Grande appears, eliminates Phoenix. Funny that. This leaves 2, Andrade and Hayes, who, shall we say, have a bit of a history. They put on a fantastic show with counters, twin clotheslines, and then a spinning back elbow from Andrade downs both men. Hayes goes for a springboard, with Andrade catching up to him on the middle rope, seemingly setting up for a Spanish fly. Only Hayes jumps down to the mat, tosses Andrade over the top rope, and wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
We have a snippet of a sit-down interview with Wade Barrett and Charlotte Flair, with Barrett asking why things have got so ugly between her and Stratton. As usual, the answer doesn't match the question, with Flair saying that she doesn't love it, they've moved past it and they're both, her and Stratton, have a chip on their shoulder. But now, people are invested and want to tune in to watch them on the biggest stage, WrestleMania.
We then learn that Tama Tonga has gone to hospital for a checkup on his arm after being attacked earlier by Knight.
We then head back to the ring with Rhea Ripley. She says this match is probably the most important to her and admits that being distracted by Belair, adding that Sunday she'll do what she has to do and get back her title. This prompts IYO SKY to head out and get in the ring. But as she's about to speak, out comes Bianca Belair. Belair says she's walking out as champ when she gets interrupted by Naomi. Naomi says she's reached out to Belair and got nothing back, adding that Jade wasn't there for Bianca like she was, and that tomorrow she's going to finish what she started with her. So now out comes Cargill, with Naomi making a sharp exit from the ring, with Cargill and Belair exchanging words. Ripley then stands between the two, telling Jade it's not about her, with Naomi then blindsiding Jade and pushing her from behind into Ripley, who falls into Belair. Jade and Naomi fight, as does Ripley and Belair, leaving IYO to once again hit the over-the-moonsault to the outside, taking out Ripley, Belair and a few backstagers who'd run out to try and break things up.
Backstage, we see Rey Fenix being mocked by Gable and the Creeds about being eliminated by El Grande Americano from the Battle Royale when Dragon Lee appears. Lee says something in his native tongue when Rey Mysterio appears. Rey proposes a 6-man tag for later and then heads off to speak with Aldis. Spoiler, we get this match.
Next up, the Street Profits against the Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We get an early pin attempt by Motor City after a double team, with Ford then taking out both of his opponents with a clothesline before tagging in Dawkins. We then get a blockbuster with Shelley breaking up the follow-up cover on 2. After the break, we find Sabin taking on both Profits and landing a missile dropkick from the top rope to Ford before tagging in Shelley, with the two double-teaming Ford again, followed by another cover, but again for 2. Ford then escapes an attempted skull and bones and tags in Dawkins, who gets dispatched by Sabin, with Motor City then running through their usual double-team combo on Ford. Ford then flies over the top rope, taking out Motor City and Dawkins, who gathered on the outside, when Ford gets taken out by Gargano. The ref calls for the bell, ending the match in a DQ. Ciampa then grabs the titles with DIY, then heading off to the back.
Backstage, we see Nick Aldis on the phone when he's interrupted by Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis, and Green has a complaint about last week's match, more specifically the count-out that she suffered. Aldis says there was an injustice, and so therefore makes a match for later, Green versus Vega, with Secret Hervis barred from ringside.
We come back from a break to see DIY trying to escape the arena with the tag titles when Nick Aldis intercepts them, asking for the belts back. They argue, with the Street Profits and Motor City then showing up. After a little shouting, Aldis calms everyone down, asking DIY, easy way or the hard way. They hand the titles to Aldis, who then makes a TLC match for next week for the titles, and presumably between the teams that are there, DIY, Profits and Motor City. We weren't far off with our WrestleMania predictions from a while ago of this being a 5-team title match at Mania. 1 week off and 2 teams light.
Not bad. Out next, Randy Orton, and I'm genuinely interested in what he has to say, because what is there for him to say? He's still banging the drum for not having an opponent for WrestleMania and says there's no way he's sitting out and missing out. Well, you got to, Randy, because we haven't predicted a match for you in our predictions. Well, we did actually in the Musings video. Go and check it out. I think we said him against Sikoa. Anyway, Orton says he's going to be geared up, ready to go for Sunday, then asks the boys in the locker room to step up, even asking anyone in the crowd if they want to go. No matter who it is, though, they will fall victim to the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. HB... No? Sorry, I mean RKO. So, my prediction could come true, as I said, Orton Sikoa, which, as I say, we have mentioned in another video.
Yeah. We take a look at Damian Priest attacking Drew McIntyre from earlier today, as Drew was addressing a crowd. When we go to Byron Saxton backstage with Priest. Priest hooks up. There must have been a technical error as the screen goes green. Well, it does for us anyway, with Priest saying that he's done with answering questions about WrestleMania and wants to send a direct message to McIntyre.
Serious.
He tells Drew he's not ready for the match and the world isn't ready for the violence. At WrestleMania, Priest is bringing the punishment and going to bury McIntyre.
That sounds serious. We get another Smoky 4 vignette with a snake, a chair and Skull, but this time we also get a date, 25th of April 2025. So someone's debuting on next week's SmackDown.
Seems
Looks like the White Six. Oh no, nobody knows when they're coming back. It's not the White Six.
Next up, Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. Green starts well, even dragging Vega out the ring and throwing her into the timekeeper's barrier. Green then runs at Vega, with Vega ducking and tossing Green up and over the timekeeper's area. Green and Vega just beat the referee count by 1 before throwing haymakers, with Vega winning out and looking for the 619. Green foils the move with a big boot and covers for 2. We then head to the top rope where Green looks for a superplex, but Vega stops it and turns into a super code red. Vega follows up with a pin and gets the 1-2-3.
So incoming title shot.
Definitely.
Seeing as she's had it for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
LA Knight in the middle of the ring now, and he says he took Tama out to try to thin the numbers, with Solo being next, so hopefully it'll only be Fatu he has to deal with at Mania. Solo Sikoa then heads out for his match with Knight, but Knight heads out the ring, meeting him on the rampway, with the two then fighting back to ringside. We come back from a break and we're still around the ring, with Solo clearly in control. But we finally get in the ring and see a neckbreaker from Knight, only for Solo to regain control. Solo goes for one too many moves, with Knight catching him in the you-know-wheres and then dropping him with a jumping clothesline, DDT and elbow from the middle. Well, as Knight's about to jump, he's attacked by Jacob Fatu, with the ref calling for the bell straight away. After beating on LA, Braun Strowman heads out for the save and clears house, which in turn brings out Nick Aldis. So you know what's coming, and you're right. A tag match with Strowman and Knight one side and Sikoa and Fatu the other.
Braun batters both his opponents before sending Fatu out the ring with a dropkick, before leaving himself and taking out Solo and Jacob with the Strowman Express. We get back in the ring where Fatu dominates Braun with a DDT and senton before covering for 2. Knight and Solo then come in with Knight power slamming Solo and cover after an elbow drop from the top rope. Fatu makes the save on 2. Strowman and Jacob then end up over the announcer's desk, with LA ducking a Samoan spike and hitting BFT on Solo. The follow-up pin gets the victory for the megastar and the monster among men.
We get another snippet of an interview between Wade Barrett and Tiffany Stratton, and after a convoluted question, it boils down to Wade asking what happened when things went wrong during Flair and Stratton's in-ring interview a few weeks ago. That was a mouthful. Stratton says she felt bullied when they did the split-screen interview, and so went away and did her homework for when they were going to meet in the ring for a face-to-face interview. She adds Flair doesn't have to like her, but has to respect her now. Wade then asks what happens if Tiffy time ends at WrestleMania 41. Stratton says that's not going to happen, admitting it's going to be one of the hardest matches that she'll probably have to go through.
Last match of the night, Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee against American Made. Fenix destroys Brutus before tagging in Lee, who then gets taken over to American Made's corner and beaten by Julius, who was tagged in by his brother. Lee, though, turns it around with a crossbody from high and covers, only for Gable to make the save on 2. We get a nice triple team on Lee, with all 3 members of American Made landing a headbutt on the luchador before we hit a break. We come back and find Gable keeping Lee from his corner before being triple teamed again, ending this time with Brutus ball and being covered for 2, the save coming from Fenix. Lee then double stomps all 3 members of Made from the top rope before bringing in Fenix, who gets manhandled by Julius Creed. Fenix, though, doesn't take it for long, getting the best of American Made before hitting Goodbye Amigo on Gable. Lee then hits Operation Dragon on Julius, with Fenix following up from the top rope with a Meteora. Fenix then covers and gets the win for Team Luchador.
Cody Rhodes heads out for a face-to-face with John Cena, and as he's about to speak, Cena heads out, still with his same music. So they didn't change it after all.
No, it would have been better though.
So there was a lot of people that were incorrect. Oh well, better luck next time. Cena says what he's doing is unprecedented, that the fans don't believe it, thinking he's going to come back, because everyone always comes back. He adds he has love, joy and worth in his life and doesn't need any of the fans. He's only here to take the title away from Rhodes and the fans forever. You will lose and the people that write history are winners, he said. Cena continued, He said that he thought it would be impossible to beat Rhodes at WrestleMania, but with Cody saying to The Rock what he said, something about going for coffee, he changed it all. The Rock gave Rhodes a choice, and the choice Cody made Cena realise that Rhodes doesn't stand a chance on Sunday at WrestleMania. Cena carries on and on and on with it, ultimately coming down to Cena saying Rhodes doesn't have the cojones of the last real champion.
Rhodes fires back saying Cena's overrated, overbearing and out of touch. He has a face like melted wax, a neck like a stack of dimes, spindly legs, and he's paler than Sting at Starrcade 97.
Who remembers that?
Rhodes wraps up by saying it's 2025 and you still can't wrestle. The crowd then chant, Cody, Cody Rhodes, with Cena then,
No, okay.
with Cena then saying that on Sunday, to beat him, he doesn't have to wrestle. Cena then hits Rhodes around the head and sets up for an AA. Only Rhodes counters into a crossroads and hits it. SmackDown goes off the air with Cody raising the belt at the top of the rampway.
Now, as you said, whoever gets the best of the other person before a main event usually goes on to lose.
Yeah.
Now, Rhodes has hit 2 crossroads.
Yeah.
And he has got the best of Cena.
Yeah. So obviously Cena's winning.
Cena's not laid a glove on Rhodes, really. So going by your theory, Cena's going to win.
I don't think it's 100% accurate,
well,
but
yeah, but you've said it, and it's now
probably 90%.
Yes, it does usually seem to be. I mean, it's a bit like Gunther. He's had the upper hand on Jay.
Yeah, so Jay's winning.
So Jay's going to win. That's just, again, the secret rules of
wrestling.
wrestling. I mean, Zelina Vega as well. I mean, she's had the best of, which is obviously going to lead to a title match.
Got to.
Possibly. I mean, they could have done it for next week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because
they could announce it.
They were happy to announce the TLC match for the tag belts, which should have been at Mania. Yeah. With Pretty Deadly and Legado del Fantasma to make it a 5. But they're probably running a little bit shorter time because they've got that many matches on it. Just because they booked out 2 days, they think, we've got to stack it with absolutely everything. You don't, because less is more. Yes, it was too much for one night, but 2 nights, now you're just like, we've smashed it. I mean, you're gonna get Orton in. We know that. Yeah. But it's against 2, and I still say Solo, which I did say in our musings video, which is in the link down below. Go and watch that. I don't know whereabouts it is, but I said Orton will face Solo at WrestleMania. You heard it here, possibly not first.
Any thoughts or views you'd like to share, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below.
Don't forget to check out our musings video, which I've just mentioned, with thoughts and opinions on the last week of WWE, and our predictions video of what we think will happen at WrestleMania. I'm sure the link will be in the description somewhere.
More than likely.
Thank you again for watching.
And we'll see you Sunday for night 1 of WrestleMania 41.